Hey everyone, and welcome to Boston Autoblog. As you guys have noticed, I've reviewed a lot of crossovers on this channel over the last 2 months. And I finally have time to feature the crossover I've been waiting for, and that is the Toyota RAV4. Back in 2018 at the New York International Auto Show, it was my first time going as press, and the Toyota RAV4 was the first vehicle that gets unveiled that day. And not only has this vehicle meant a lot to me because it was the first time I was a journalist and to see a vehicle get unveiled right before my eyes, but I drove a Toyota RAV4 during my high school and college years. And to see how much this vehicle has changed over the last few generations and to see it become more of a masculine and really a cool crossover for the price is one of the reasons why I really wanted to do this review. Now, there is no argument that the Toyota RAV4 is a very popular crossover. In fact, it's probably the most popular crossover in this segment. A lot of that has to do with the fact that it's practical, reliable, economical, but now it also has technology features. So in this review, we're going to go over everything about this crossover and see why it might be the perfect vehicle for you. Now, before I get in this review, I'd like to thank Ira Toyota in Danvers, Massachusetts for allowing me to do this review. Their link will be in the description below, so you can check out their extensive Toyota inventory. And so, without wasting any further time, let's get right in this review. When Toyota announced they were going to unveil the completely redesigned RAV4 at the New York International Auto Show in 2018, few could have foreseen the jaw-dropping changes that were going to be made from the previous generation. We've seen Toyota rebrand themselves this decade by appealing to younger consumers and proving that practicality and reliability could also be fun. The compact crossover market has experienced healthy growth over the last handful of years, and for the RAV4, a major refresh was the answer to stay ahead of Honda and Ford in a very competitive segment. Current design trends for crossovers have shifted more towards being rugged, aggressive, and off-road capable, which the new RAV4 embodies all three by resembling the 4Runner and Highlander. Usually, with complete overhauls, the size of the vehicle grows slightly. However, even being built on a new platform, Toyota found a way to keep dimensions almost identical to last generation, despite having a more aerodynamic roofline for 2020. A bold and masculine front fascia is what will catch your eye immediately, and while this is a new and uncharacteristic look, it gives the Toyota RAV4 an appealing first impression that was certainly lacking with this vehicle in the past. On limited trim, multi-LED headlights with chrome bezels along with halogen fog lamps come standard. Coming around to the side profile, square wheel arches added the appearance for the new generation. Not only is Toyota's way of trying to draw in consumers in the market for a Jeep Cherokee, but now the RAV4 has the road presence of being a legitimate off-road SUV, which becomes more apparent with the Adventure and TRD trims. Body color matching heated and power side mirrors with turn signal and blind spot warning indicators will add a more premium look while also providing enhanced safety. On the limited, 19-inch multi-spoke super chrome finished alloy wheels come standard, which is an upgrade over the 17 and 18s found on lower trims. Moving to the back, the rugged and squared-off design cues continue, with LED taillights and dual exhaust tips. But when you look at the RAV4 overall, Toyota has moved in the direction of implementing elements taken from Lexus when it comes to the appearance. Instead of being like Honda, who's made slight cosmetic upgrades with the CR-V over the last 10 years, the changes Toyota made have significantly improved the RAV4 by being far less conservative and showing a fun side to this crossover that sets it apart from Japanese and American rivals. For performance, the RAV4 will get a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder engine that puts out 203 horsepower and 184 pound-feet of torque, and is paired with an 8-speed automatic transmission. There's 2 drivetrain options available, with front-wheel drive coming standard and dynamic torque vectoring all-wheel drive being a $1,400 option. For fuel economy, you can expect to receive 25 miles per gallon in the city and 33 miles per gallon on the highway. However, if you decide to go with front-wheel drive, you'll see a slight improvement when it comes to fuel consumption. Inside, you're greeted by heated and ventilated soft-tex leatherette perforated seats for both the driver and passenger. The driver's side is power adjustable, whereas the passenger will have to manually adjust their seating position. In front of you is a 7-inch digital display in between your analog gauges, which is all new for the RAV4, while also being a recent addition to other vehicles in the Toyota lineup. By using the buttons mounted on the steering wheel, you can scroll through a variety of information, from your fuel economy to safety systems, and even monitoring your all-wheel drive system by seeing which wheels are getting power, which could be an invaluable piece of info when taking on unplowed roads in the winter. Standard for the limited trim is a digital rearview mirror, giving you the ability to see what's behind you far more clearly when you've loaded up the RAV4 to capacity with items or boxes. It was certainly a surprise to see a vehicle under $40,000 to be equipped with this feature, but Toyota's initiative as of late is to offer technology you expect to find in premium brands. For the infotainment system, you'll get an 8-inch touchscreen with Apple CarPlay and Amazon Alexa connectivity, and new for 2020, Toyota now offers Android Auto. You'll get onboard navigation along with the upgraded JBL speakers. Responsiveness is good, and you'll have quick access buttons on either side of the screen to make going through menus much easier. You'll get a rear backup camera with trajectory and a bird's eye view camera, helping drivers navigate through tight parking spots while also adding a sense of safety. Below, you'll find the buttons for your dual zone climate control and 3-level heated and ventilated seats. Just like with the Corolla we reviewed earlier this year, the limited trim is equipped with a wireless phone charging pad, and you'll also find a USB input and 12-volt outlet. On the RAV4, a terrain management system and drive mode selector will dominate the center console, and while we've seen a similar layout from competitors, this is a minor touch that shows the direction Toyota is going in with their crossovers. For the center storage compartment, there's enough room for a smartphone and small items, and you'll also find 2 additional USB inputs. And rounding out the front seating area, a power moonroof does come standard, but you can option for a panoramic roof, which will let in a lot of natural light. Now for passengers in the back, they're going to get a decent amount of legroom here. In fact, I'm 5'5", and actually this seat is adjusted all the way back. We're starting on the passenger side for once. And I have room to move my legs. I don't feel cramped. I don't feel, too claustrophobic here. I think someone around 5'8", 5'9" could definitely still be comfortable back here. What I do notice, though, is that the rear seats sit lower than the front seats, and I think a lot of this has to do with the fact that Toyota is trying to maximize rear headroom, but I could definitely see people around 5'8", 5'9" being very comfortable back here. Maybe if you're a little taller, you might be a little cramped if the seat is all the way back, but for me, I wouldn't be complaining. But again, let's be fair. For the center seat, what I like the most is that the hump isn't aggressive, and a lot of crossovers in this particular segment have very aggressive middle humps where you do feel like your legs are cramped a bit, where this is actually okay. Again, you're going to want to have the shortest person in the center, and for someone around my height, it's not too bad. Obviously, if there's taller people and with broader shoulders, I might be cramped, but when it comes to legroom, this is okay. And then on the driver's side, the seat is adjusted to someone of my height, and I have plenty of room back here. So for me and for someone around my height, and for maybe people around 5'8", 5'9", maybe even 5'10", I think they'd be pretty comfortable back here. Also for passengers in the back, they get heated seats as well, along with 2 rear air vents. Obviously, you're not going to see tri-zone climate control in this segment. 2 USB inputs, and a center armrest with 2 cup holders. Now for rear cargo room, there's going to be plenty of space back here. In fact, you're going to get 37 cubic feet of rear cargo room. But what's great about this, though, is that if you want to get the hybrid trim, you don't lose any practicality whatsoever. And you really can't say that about some competitors because the battery placement does take up some space. So whether you choose the gas model or the hybrid, the Toyota RAV4 is extremely practical. Now before we end this review, I want to focus on a few more aspects of the interior before I finish up. And that is the soft tex seats, which personally I prefer over leather. They provide a good amount of bolstering, they're also soft, and they're comfortable. So I could totally see myself driving this vehicle over 2 hours and not get tired of it. What I also like as well is the button layout. So everything is within arm's reach, and unlike some vehicles where you do have to reach for the buttons, they're all right there, perfectly laid out, and for me, I do prefer having physical buttons for the climate control. Now, when it comes to the infotainment system, what I like the most is that even though it's a secondary piece and not really integrated into the dashboard, it's not really invasive when it comes to my line of sight. It's a little bit lower to the dashboard, and it's very user-friendly and easy to use. So when it comes to just touching the buttons, the quick access buttons, everything is right there for me, and I think it's a pretty good layout, especially for a vehicle in this segment. Now, one minor detail that we're going to wrap up with for the interior is the center console button layout. Now, they put the gear shift lever on the passenger side, which I think is actually an ingenious design. Let's think about it. This isn't a manual transmission, so you're not going to be using the gear shift lever that often, maybe unless you put it in sport mode. But for the drive mode selector buttons and that button layout, it's on the driver's side, which makes sense because if I have my arm here and I'm resting it, my hand's going to be right there for the button layout. So if I'm driving, I keep my eyes on the road, and I want to put the car maybe normal or sport, it's right there. So for me, I actually think when it comes to the Toyota RAV4 in this segment, I prefer this button layout than other vehicles in its segment. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe for more. And I'll see you guys next time.